This is Football for the Fans, where the fans come for everything football. Many football fans were quick to jump on Neymar after his move to PSG because he was wasting his peak years at a club that easily wins the league each season, with loads of money coming in to repeat that success. These fans may be quick to judge, but have a case when you consider that PSG are paying him £667,000, which is €731,000, or $1,295,615 Australian dollars per week, which equates to £34.8 million, €38 million, or $67,553,366 in Australia per year. Aside from money, PSG had won the league all but once in the last 5 seasons before Neymar joined in the 17-18 season. Then, when you consider that Neymar is the third highest paid athlete, ahead of Federer, LeBron, Anthony Joshua and more, and only behind none other than Ronaldo and Messi, it's very easy to suggest that Neymar is chasing the money. Since he joined, Neymar's PSG have won the league in the 2 seasons that he's played there and maintain a 12-point gap over second place Marseille. I'm not a betting man, but would put my house on them maintaining their French crown this season. All this being said, I do believe Neymar deserves a lot more respect. Currently, he hasn't shown a lot, with many pundits, players, coaches and fans critiquing literally everything he does. I'll give you an example of some of the articles that first come up when you search his name. Neymar doesn't need to disrespect his opponents, or Neymar's friends defend him having a birthday party, or PSG manager condemns Neymar's fight with a spectator, or video emerges of hotel room fight between Neymar and women who accused him of... well, you know where that one goes. Of course, people are also quick to jump on Neymar when he gets injured every year around the time that his sister has her birthday. In saying this, there is plenty of good things written about him also. The thing about rumours and reports and eye-grabbing news articles though is that Neymar's reputation has undoubtedly suffered, something of a joke in some football fans' eyes, and this overshadows the brilliant player he is. So, my job today is to remove Neymar's controversial personal life, remove the potential lust for money and other things, and explain why I believe that he's a supremely talented footballer who's given a lot and has a lot more to give. I'll mention antics and the like throughout the video that, if he changed, I believe would excel his game to new heights, but I'm more here to affirm the Brazilian's quality. Be sure to watch the full video, especially if you don't rate him as highly as you can clearly tell I do. And just to be frank, I think Neymar is one of the best players in the world right now and has been for a very long time. I'll start with a look at his stats and achievements for his 3 clubs to date and detail the reasons why these numbers are so telling. Then I'll look at his international career, then finally his contribution to football and the lasting impact he'll have overall. Let's begin. Born in 1992, Neymar flourished early with Santos, the same club that Pelé first made his name for. From 2009 to 13, Neymar made 134 appearances, scored 70 and got 35 assists at a rate of just over a goal every other game and an assist every 4 games, all whilst he was between the ages of 17 and 21. At Santos, he was once Footballer of the Year, once Copa Sudamericana winner, once Brazilian Cup and Copa Libertadores winner, and the top scorer of the league also. He then made his mammoth move to Barcelona, where 186 appearances rendered 105 goals and 76 assists, a Champions League win, where he was the competition's top scorer, 2 league titles, 3 Spanish Cups, a Club World Cup win, and a Super Cup win. Then finally at his current club PSG, who signed him for a world record fee of £188 million or €222 million, has caused the most controversy as we already know, but his most impressive numbers to date have resulted from this move. 76 appearances, 66 goals and 39 assists. This means that he has more goal contributions than appearances, which is truly unbelievable. PSG and Neymar have won the league twice from 2 attempts and also the French Cup once. Overall, in 396 club appearances, Neymar's recorded 241 goals and 150 assists. In 396 club appearances, Neymar has contributed to a goal 391 times. Staggering. Now, let me delve into why these numbers aren't respected by many fans, but then pose why they should be. Ligue 1 is a farmers' league according to many football fans. This meaning that, of all of Europe's top 5 leagues, the French First Division is considered to be by far the easiest to be successful in, especially playing at PSG. Now when I say my next point, I'm not saying that I don't agree with the French league maybe being the easiest for the Parisians to dominate, but I'm rather suggesting that the disparity in quality isn't as far as we might think. I'm considering Neymar to be a world-class footballer. His record of more than a goal or assist every game at PSG is the result of his brilliance in the peak time of his career. For this incredible record he's deemed as performing in an easier league. Here's what I wonder. When Mohamed Salah of Liverpool in the Premier League scores 32 in a 38-game season in the deemed most difficult league in the world, he's elevated to world-class status, considered to be having one of the greatest seasons in modern history and classed as the bargain signing of the window. When Ronaldo and Messi put up just as positive numbers in Spain, and now Ronaldo in Italy, they're considered to be the greatest footballers in the world. Maybe the most telling fact is that Kylian Mbappe has put on par numbers to Neymar in the last 2 seasons, but is, correctly mind you, considered as the best young player in the world, but is now also considered as PSG's best player by far, which I believe is quite unfair against Neymar. In 113 PSG games, far less interrupted by injury and able to maintain form from game to game, Kylian Mbappe has scored 82 times and assisted 45 times. Whilst Neymar is also the regular penalty taker at PSG, yes, I get that, their records are about similar even without penalties. Yes, I understand the age and potential to improve of Mbappe, but why is he so highly regarded if he too is in a farmers' league? Why is Neymar a money-seeking, wasting away talent, when Kylian Mbappe is a brilliant footballer whose ability deserves the respect of everyone? A player like Mo Salah has been truly world-class for just over 2 seasons now in the Premier League, where, as established in my previous video, which you can watch by clicking in the top right-hand corner, the quality of Premier League teams is less than that of Premier League teams prior to the 2010s. Yet his form in the last couple of seasons has resulted in many fans putting him well above Neymar in a player comparison. Let me put it this way. Neymar has been a world beater under several managers at PSG, has battled through injury issues that have made getting any consistent game time almost impossible, and has only exponentially improved his goal and assist return throughout his whole career, whereas Salah has hit his absolute peak once under the management of the brilliant Jurgen Klopp, with far less injury issues and with a far better team. If Neymar has managed to statistically match and better Salah in not only the last 2 seasons, but also prolonging his entire career, why is Salah suddenly the better player overall? If Neymar was considered potentially the 3rd best player in the world while at Barcelona, why has that been totally now disregarded when his contribution has risen stats-wise and he's no longer playing with Lionel Messi? How much of a disparity is there really between La Liga and Ligue 1 if there have only been 3 winners of the Spanish League, Atletico only once, since 2003-4 in Barcelona and Real Madrid, but in France there have been 7 league winners in that time. Let's not also forget that PSG didn't win the previous season's league title before Neymar joined. Explain to me the term Farmers League now. Besides, how many players do you think in the top 5 leagues have a record of more goals plus assists than games last season? Mbappe, Royce, Cavani, Messi, and of course, Neymar. Finally, expected goals. The definition of XG is the number of goals a player should have scored when considering the number and type of chances they had in a match. It is a way of using statistics to provide an objective view. Basically then, as it is in the name, if a player scores more goals in a season than the expected goals they should have scored, then they're deemed to be a good finisher or playing well. Let's take a look at some of the top player stats from this and the previous season. Start with Messi. In 18-19 he scored 36 goals when he was only expected to score 26, which is truly insane to think about. This season he scored 14 from an expected 10.01. This still being a very classy return, but not as prolific as last season. Ronaldo's first season in Turin saw him take many shots, so his total of 21 was unfortunately 2.32 lower than the 23.32 he was expected to score. This season, however, his 19 goals well outdoes the 14.7 he was expected to score. The last player we will look at is Mbappe, whose 33 goals outdo the expected 29.86, a difference of 3.14. This season, his 14 is above the expected 12.7, a difference of 1.3. Finally, Neymar, in 17 games last season, scored 15 goals, which is 3.1 goals above the expected 11.9. This season, however, Neymar's 12 goals in 14 games is lower than the expected 13.73 he should have had, a difference of 1.73. So you're asking me now, if Neymar is comparably worse than the 3 other world-class players, why am I sharing this information in a video about Neymar being a world-class player? Well, if you were listening, then you'd realise that this isn't the purpose of the video, the sole purpose. Rather, the intention is to encourage my audience to give Neymar more respect. but I can demonstrate where Neymar tends to elevate his game more, and that is on the international stage with Brazil. But before I move on, let me remind you that both Ronaldo and Neymar have very similar expected goal positives, which speaks for itself. If you need proof, go back and watch the last minute of the video. Anyway, Neymar sits underneath only Pelé and Ronaldo in Brazil's all-time leading goal scorers tally, with 61 from 101 appearances. Brazil without Neymar have simply not been able to perform regularly enough without their star player, but have absolutely thrived when he is on the pitch. They are, as proven by their recent record, quite literally reliant upon him on the big stage. The only exception to this is the most recent Copa America, but that will be addressed later. We'll start with the 2013 Confederations Cup final, which saw Neymar and Brazil beat Spain 3-0 to win their third in a row, scoring to help seal the victory. The World Cup of 2014, where he scored 4 and got an assist in 5 games, ended in complete and utter disaster when they lost 7-1 on home soil in the semi-final without their leader, Neymar. His lower back vertebrae were of course still broken in the third place playoff against the Dutch, where Brazil lost 3-0. Then, in the 2015 Copa America, Captain Neymar's goal and assist across 2 games helped them reach the quarter-final against Paraguay. Not great opposition, and Neymar missed through suspension and resulted in Brazil losing on penalties. The following year, in the Copa America Centenario, Barcelona refused to allow Neymar to play in no more than one international competition in the season. Thus, he didn't play, and Peru embarrassingly defeated the hapless Brazilians to dump them out before the knockout stages. On the flip side, Neymar's Brazil went on to win gold at the Olympics at Rio 2016, where Neymar was pivotal against all opposition, particularly against 2014's enemy Germany, where in the final they would win and Neymar would sink the final penalty before dropping to his knees in tears, knowing what it meant to his country. Then Neymar, admittedly whilst diving a lot at the 2018 World Cup, would score 2 and assist 2 before losing to arguably the second best team of the tournament behind France, that was Belgium. The singular exception to Brazil's poor track record without Neymar was last year's Copa America, as I mentioned before, in their success they found, where he missed the entire tournament through injury. Brazil had peaked at the right time, and Alisson's inspired season was helped by the lineup that included Casemiro, Firmino, Coutinho, Jesus, and more, against an overperforming Peru, who they even beat 5-0 in the group stage. As well, I would suggest that, since it was such a significant injury to Neymar, they had more time to prep for the tournament without him. So essentially, saying that, this current Brazilian team with Neymar is on paper one of the best international teams in the world. And when the team has been poorly managed or players haven't lifted to the task, Brazil have clearly struggled until only recent to find form without Neymar. When Brazil were destroyed by Germany 1-7 in their own backyard, it sent the country into shock and then peril. In 2014, Neymar carried the weight of the country upon his shoulders, but injury stopped him from succeeding. When Neymar was eventually past his injury in 2016, he avenged his country. He did this by winning tournaments and inspiring a more positive life upon a once beaten down people. Neymar's significance to Brazil across the last 8 to 9 years isn't matched by any player potentially in any national team's history. I'm not disregarding the talent of his teammates during the Olympics or the World Cup at all, but when Pelé was thriving, so was Garrincha. When Ronaldo was thriving, so was Roberto Carlos, Cafu, Gilberto Silva, Ronaldinho, and Rivaldo. In the last decade, when Brazil were lacking goals, who has stepped up for them across so many years? Who scored 2 incredible free kicks towards Olympic gold? Neymar did, and still does, what almost no one can do on the pitch beside him, and no one can really meet his quality. The only players who can compare are Messi and Ronaldo, but the former is without any international success yet, and the latter was subbed off early in the final of the Euros. Thus, you can make a case for Neymar being the most critical cog in any national team in the past decade. So, to wrap up this video, let me explain the impact of Neymar upon football, and the imprint he'll leave on our beautiful game. Neymar is this generation's golden Brazilian forward who scores an incredible amount of goals whilst being the most entertaining player on the pitch. In the past there was Pelé, then there were the many R's and Kaká, but now there is Neymar. He was lucky enough to have escaped Brazilian academies before a more defensive approach was blanketed over the country post-2014 meltdown, hence the development of so many exceptional goalkeepers, central defenders and number 6s in recent years. Neymar was instead born, encouraged and flourished in a free role at Santos, where, don't forget, he scored an incredible goal to claim the Puskás Award. Football fans are slow to forget things, however, we're quick to remember how much money he makes. I encourage you to remember that football is a form of entertainment, without a doubt, and footballers are paid like celebrities because, well, they are. They're inspirations to younger players, They're why people pump money into each year's merchandise, season tickets, and more. People commit over 9 months worth of weekends and travelling to watch their teams away from home to be entertained because they love football. Neymar makes kids, teenagers, and adults love football. Every kid wants to juggle like Neymar, every team wants to score as many as Neymar, and every adult sees flashes of the golden era of Brazil through Neymar. How many people have the beautiful yellow of the Seleção kit over Neymar mid-dribble on their phone as a background? Or have watched compilations of his incredible rainbow flicks and stepovers? Who didn't look at his ironic demolishing of PSG in his final Champions League winning match for Barcelona, stand up and clap their hands? He scored a brace and got the winning assist in the 95th to round off what was the greatest comeback of all time. Who has the ability to do that? Not many at all. But Neymar is one of them. I don't care about his desire for money. We as humans have that want for more. Roger Federer left Nike to join Uniqlo and is making 400 million odd pounds over the next 10 years. He's simply setting himself up for the future. Messi and Ronaldo have both dived in their career, as has Neymar, so why is he being held more accountable for those actions than them? Neymar's injury record as of his PSG stay shouldn't be frowned upon or result in remarks that he's doing it on purpose. The fact that Neymar has more goals and assists per game at PSG by a large margin is incredible and not a feat which many players have achieved or will. He's done this in the midst of some horrible injuries which he has worked back from each and every single time, and his game is still elevating. This isn't a Jack Wilshere-like injury record that stunts the ability to remain at the top level. In fact, his return to form is quite Brazilian of him. Remember Pelé and Ronaldo? He seems to reach higher when he returns. I haven't even mentioned how often Brazilian players of the past can seek money and destroy their own careers. Pato, for example, who chose partying over maintaining peak fitness. Neymar hasn't. He could have, but hasn't. He's a fighter and a winner, and there's no denying that the hopes of Brazil have rested upon him for almost a decade now, and who knows where they'd be without him. Now, this new, thriving Brazil team is more than capable of succeeding with Captain Neymar leading by the front. Imagine what that team could do at the next World Cup when every player hits their peak. 28-year-old Neymar has 5 peak years left in him, maybe, in which I have no doubts that we will see him continue to improve at whatever club that may be. His record for club and country and the prolonged consistency that he has is like that of not many others. Comparable on both domestic and international fronts only with Ronaldo and Messi. Neymar may dive, Neymar likes money, and Neymar's injured a lot, but there aren't as many footballers whose raw talent, records and consistency are up to his standard. Neymar joined an underperforming PSG team pushing for a Champions League win, plus needing to regain their title that they lost the season before he joined. Who on earth joins a club that he helped demolish in a competition that they so desire to win? Neymar wanted to escape Messi's shadow by becoming the talisman at PSG. I think that shows a desire to be the best, and to be the best, you need to beat the best. Neymar, without a trace of doubt, is one of the best. He has my respect, and he more than deserves yours. This video was made out of me being confused by people who slated Neymar for being injured or for ruining his career at his current club. My opinion was born out of simple facts, and I hope that in watching this, whether you're a fan of Neymar or not, you at least respect the brilliant player he is. Here at Football for the Fans, I like to have discussions and talk about all things football. So be sure to leave your opinion in the comments below, or follow my Instagram, which you can find below in the description, and chat with me there. As well, if you like this video, and thank you for watching it by the way, then you should of course like it. Then I know what kind of videos you want me to make. This has been another production by Football for the Fans, where the fans come for everything football.